Hi, my name is Tim Morris. I'm a commercial real estate advisor with Newmark Knight Frank, and I'm here today to introduce Scott Applebaum of Context Therapeutics. When I'm not at work, I spend as much time as I can with my family. I've got, at this point, 3 grown daughters, so no one's home right now. My oldest daughter is getting married next month, which is very exciting. And I have 2 other daughters who are in college. And when I'm not with them or my wife, I spend as much time as I can involved with a few different nonprofits that are really kind of meaningful and near and dear to me. One of those is the Boys and Girls Club of Philadelphia. I've been on the board there for a number of years. And the work that they do in the community it's really outstanding. These are kids who are, generally don't have the types of opportunities that I did when I was growing up, and it's great to see that they have a place to go after school, a place where they can do their homework, a place where they can get a hot meal, because I'm not always sure that they know where that next meal is coming from or where that place is going to be to get their homework done in a quiet place. And and it's just the impact that we make in the community through the Boys and Girls Club it's really tremendous. And I wish we could spend more time with the clubs, more time with education, but we have great leadership of the club here in Philadelphia. About 5 years ago, Joseph and Elizabeth Marziello came in. They had turned around a few other kind of underperforming Boys and Girls Clubs, and they showed up here, and within I'd say a year or 2 at most, just turned around the work that we're doing here in Philadelphia. Really ramped up the fundraising, really renovated most of the clubs. We're now in the process of trying to build a new club in Germantown. And again, it's, as I mentioned earlier, about the impact that you make on patients and their lives. You see that when you go to these clubs and when you talk to these kids, and you see we have kids who have graduated and going on to college, where I don't know that would have happened without these clubs being there. So I try to spend time with them whenever I can. And then I'm also on the board of another nonprofit called the Defy Foundation. And this one's a little more personal to me. One of my close colleagues and a great leader at Shire when I was there, whose name was Mike Yasik, died of a very rare disease, one that fortunately none of us had ever heard of before. It's that rare, but it had just a devastating impact on his family. The condition is called vascular Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And he, his 2 brothers, and his father all passed away. And Mike was a leader of our ADHD business at Shire and one of the most beloved person. And he died suddenly one day while at work. And then 6 months later, his 24-year-old son died of the same condition suddenly. And then about a year after that, his, at the time, 21-year-old daughter was diagnosed with the condition. So it's just a devastating illness. But Emma Yasik, Mike's daughter, she's tough. She's a fighter, and she said, we need to do something. We need to take control of this disease. So she and her fiance started a nonprofit foundation called the Defy Foundation, Defeating Ehlers-Danlos for Yasik. And we have been active in the community, raising funds and raising awareness. We have, over the last few years, we've done 5Ks, we've done golf outings, we've done newsletters, we've raised about $80,000. We've made a $25,000 grant to one of the few researchers in the field who's actually down at Hopkins. And we have a really exciting event coming up in May. We are hosting an international symposium of researchers from around the world who specialize in vascular Ehlers-Danlos, and there's not too many of them, but there's been some exciting developments. There's actually a company that is developing a drug for it now called Therapeutics, and they've provided a sponsorship to us. We're very grateful for that. And I have a very close personal relationship with the family, and they're just the most terrific people you've ever met. And I'm just so inspired by their spirit and how they carry on and how they continue to fight this disease and fight for a cure. And I'm optimistic we'll get there. So whenever I spend time with them, it's very rewarding time.